Hello, my darlings. Welcome to Becoming Abundant Podcast, the space where God and growth align, hosted by Anna Maria Jinga. This is the #1 movement for freedom of the mind and heart. Let's start the conversation. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to another episode here on the Becoming Abundant Podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga. If you've never listened to any episode yet, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're in this space. I'm so glad that you're taking the time to simply listen and see what else is available for you in your life, in your mind, for your heart, and everything in between. Today, we are going to dive a little bit into a very fun topic, especially for this time of the year, because everyone at the beginning of a year loves to set out resolution, New Year's resolutions. I want to do this. I want to do that. You make this giant list of to-dos. I will do this, and I will go to the gym, and I will eat healthy, and I will connect more with people, and I will put boundaries, and everything will be great. Yet, the second week of the year comes, and you feel like your energy is about halfway there. Okay. Feels a little hard on the body to go to the gym so often. Feels a little hard because you didn't create a clear step-by-step process to get you where you want to go. It feels a little hard because you've noticed a bit more weight, heaviness on you as you try to shift into a new version of yourself, because you didn't think of what would that version actually need to come into light. And when that heaviness comes, whenever that heaviness comes, you and I and we tend to pull back. Okay, it's a little hard, so I'm just gonna do 3 times a week the gym instead of 5. It's okay, and that's fine. But then the third week comes and you feel like I should be seeing a shift or a change, and I'm not seeing it yet because actually I don't know exactly where I want to go, and I don't have the clarity of this becoming version of me, and I'm not seeing massive results yet because, well, 3 weeks is not that much, but at the same time you're feeling like you've done so much because you've put so many things on your plate, and you fall short. And that is when, my darlings, that's when the nervous system doesn't feel safe. Stops feeling safe. It stops feeling excited. You stop getting your dopamine hit of, I'm getting to do this and I'm getting to do that, and it's really fun and exciting. You're not getting that anymore from your day-to-day struggles. You're not getting the excitement anymore because of your uncomfortable shortcomings. And it's nothing wrong with you, but there is something wrong with the process. Because when we have certain resolutions that we want to see happen, we don't back them up by simple steps that will help the nervous system feel safe to make those shifts happen. We don't allow the nervous system to slowly expand its capacity of holding more or holding change, because we haven't given it peace. We haven't given it safety. We haven't given it the space for the spirit to feel at home. So today I want to talk exactly about this: how to heal the nervous system in peace and in groundedness, if you want it, even in God's peace, so that you can make more comfortable shifts happen in order to actually feel like you're finally becoming a version of you that you're proud of. Not that there's something wrong with you right now, but you do feel there are lacks, there are limitations. And whenever we have these limitations come up, you will feel we will feel a little bit more uncomfortable, a little bit more like we're failing. And it's not the failing that's actually happening, it's the not knowing who you get to be in the process of becoming a better version of yourself. In this transitional phase of, okay, I want to, let's go with the common resolutions at the beginning of every year. I want to be healthier. So it's going to look like I'm going to train my body. I'm going to start eating really healthy. And I'm going to enjoy more time in nature. Even if you're not in Florida, it's really cold everywhere else. So the part of time in nature, even though you want to make it happen, it will come up as resistance from the body because you don't want to go freeze outside. It's not that comfortable freezing outside. So that's the one that would come up as uncomfortable. So it's going to be pushed by the nervous system. I don't feel safe doing that. You didn't create anything for me to feel safe doing that. So I'm just going to find excuses to feel safe without doing that. Simple things that can come for you when you set goals, such as, let's take this as an example. Let's take the going out as an example. In winter, it's January, it's not that sunny, it's a little cold outside, maybe it's icy on the roads, maybe it's snowy. It's not fabulous. So what do you do in order to help your nervous system feel safe when it actually is going outside? You can invest in a good pair of shoes, a good pair of boots for walking outside. You can figure out paths that are beautiful to walk, such as, hey, there's a paved walking path at the near park where I can drive twice a week to just walk around there, and everything is cleaned up because, the neighbors clean the porches or whatever. Another thing, you can invest in really good layers. You can invest in great headphones to have something to listen to while you're doing that walk. We tend to forget the simplicity of small baby steps that get us going the long mile, and tend to want to do the more quote unquote very masculine approach of just gonna push through. Yes, sure, you're gonna push through, but in anything, the more you just push through without a simple step-by-step process, the less you're gonna go far. And yes, I know that saying of, if you want to go far, go by yourself. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with someone. It's great to have a companion. And at the same time, I'm very aware that not everyone will be committed to the same things that you want to do. So it's good to find peace, one, in simple processes as you pursue the goals that you want to see happen for yourself. And two, make peace with the fact that you are okay being alone doing your processes. It's great to go to the gym with someone. At the same time, it's great to teach yourself to just do 10, 15, 20 minutes of a workout every day, even at home. It's great to go on a walk with someone that you enjoy. It's also great to just take yourself out on a walk with a coffee or warm beverage in your hand, with some fun headphones in your ears, playing something that's inspiring to you, and just take yourself out. The thing is, finding the space and the process, the simple steps that will keep you consistent, is the actual secret to getting your New Year's resolutions to span out and pan out for more than just a couple of weeks. It's great that you're doing a couple of weeks, but is that what you really want? Or do you just want to be healthier and happier and more in tune with yourself? Because if that's the case, the simpler you make the process of getting healthy, getting happy, and getting in tune with yourself, the longer it will last for you. And here's what I mean about that. When we invite the nervous system to change, it's going to feel like it wants to push away. It wants to push back, because every time in the past that you have felt change, you yourself noticed that change wasn't comfortable. It wasn't great. So you labeled change as an attack to your person. But change is not always bad. Actually, when it's done intentionally, change is actually really good. So the first step in order for you to feel more connected to your goals is to train yourself to know that this change, compared to other changes in the past, this change right now is the one that will help you move forward with more consistency and in more peace. When you feel that peace, you will notice that the change will happen, not necessarily overnight, but it will happen without resistance. When I wanted to, and this is something that I will dive a little bit into it moving forward, but when I wanted to gain a bit more muscle, I didn't wait for the beginning of a new year to start. I just started, we're doing it now. Because it was less of a pressure of expectation of me performing a certain way when I started. So when I chose to get more muscles and get stronger, the simple steps that I took were, I need to have more protein in my diet. So I just slowly added more protein snacks, more protein in the meal. It was a very slow, progressive shift. And then in training, I shifted from just doing simple yogas, walking, training the body like that, to let's get heavier weights and grow from there. Let's go from, 3 pounds to 5 pounds to 7 pounds to 12 pounds and progress like that without putting a pressure of, I need to lift 25 pounds now. If you see me, I will make a joke. I weigh 25 pounds. I do not, but it would not be consistent for me and for my body to not feel stress in it if I would stretch myself too much too fast. That's the thing. When we have these New Year's resolutions, we want to stretch ourselves so much so fast because we forget that the simple small steps will take us the longest. So when I started doing the protein intake, stronger body, healthier focus, I noticed that I got stronger faster because it was simple, because my nervous system was feeling peace in the process. Another thing that I was doing, and this is something that I always invite my clients to work on, is I didn't wait for the right time. I made the right time the moment I said, I want this. And I rode the wave of that intention. The moment I rode the wave of that intention, it was easier for me to just, okay, we're going to get more steak here. We're going to get cottage cheese for snacks. We're going to make protein pancakes in the morning instead of regular pancakes. It was that small shift. It wasn't massive all of a sudden. We just added more to our intake. That was it. When I started, it was that moment. It wasn't, which was about 5-6 weeks ago. So it was about beginning of December when my family and I started getting in more protein to become stronger. We didn't wait for after the holidays. We just went through. Did we skip a meal and enjoyed dessert? Sure. Because I really believe that the 80-20 rule of everything will give you a more satisfaction in life, which is 80% of the time, I will focus on the important things, the protein, the workouts, sleeping better, hydrating, getting more of what will support my mission and my purpose. 20% of the time, I will get that ice cream. I will skip a meal because I am super creative at that moment and I just want to sit and write. I will not go for a walk because I need to rest. 20% of the time, I will give myself that. The rest of it comes natural when I know that, hey, I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself to just push through and stretch and expand massively. I'm just going to work so that I expand each inch by inch by inch. And that's the secret to actually having, let's call it success, let's call it freedom, let's call it discipline in these New Year's resolutions. You put New Year's resolutions because you know you want to do better. You want to be better. You want to feel better. You want to feel more in tune and more connected. You don't put them because, well, maybe you do put them because others are doing it and I should be doing it too. But also because your spirit inside stirs you to know you can do so much more. And when you accept the fact that you can do so much more, the spirit feels like it's being listened to. When you listen to your spirit, because the spirit knows, when you listen to your spirit, that is when your body, mind, emotion, connection starts working for you. Because the spirit knows, the spirit's directly connected to God. Our spirit is directly connected to God frequency at all times. So when we finally quieten down the noise, the busyness of the mind, the expectations of the world, all the blah blahs that are around you, when you quieten all of that and you sit and you say, okay, what would I need right now to grow from this and in this? So, my darlings, the biggest thing you can give yourself is a simple step, a simple next step. So I will leave you with these kinds of ideas to focus on. What can I do? Ask yourself and sit with this. What can I do in the next 24 hours from each goal that I have for this New Year's resolution time? What can I do in the next 24 hours that will be a simple step forward for each one of them? Then write them down and do that step. And then the next step is, what can I do consistently for a week that will be simple for me to implement, and it will give my nervous system the sense of feeling peace in the process. That will help you keep going, because there is a big study, and I know you probably heard of this. January 18th is usually the darkest, quote unquote, darkest day of the year because the heaviest. It's when people fall off their goals. It's when it's really dark and it's been really heavy and dark and it's the middle of winter and it's cold and you're feeling disconnected. It's when your nervous system will feel like, I need to feel safer. Those are the times when the simple discipline steps will help you to go through it without feeling like you need to give up. Because when you're giving up on yourself. And I don't want you to see that. I don't want you to experience that. When you're giving up, you're not allowing God to work his miracles and his peace and grace in your life. When you're giving up, you get to miss out on who you really are. So that's why I invite you to break them down, all of your goals, into really, really small steps. And I'll give you some examples before I let you go. Think of this. If your goal is to eat more fruits and veggies, instead of buying the whole store of fruits and veggies, think for the week, okay, what are kind of my favorite veggies? I'll do cucumber, bell peppers. I'll do maybe some onions for omelet. Maybe some green onions as well. Maybe some tomatoes. Let's go with that. Tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, and bell peppers. That's simple. Maybe I'll add some greens. So you buy yourself a little packet, small packet of greens. Don't buy giant Costco sizes if you're not comfortable with that, because they're gonna go bad and you're not gonna touch them and they end up in the garbage. So you're gonna buy yourself a small little bowl of cherry tomatoes, small cucumber, everything small. 2 free bell peppers, small cucumber, cherry tomatoes, and a small pack of greens. Yeah, perfect. And a small onion. Think of where you can put them. I can make the bell peppers with the onion in the morning with an omelet. That's protein. That's going to be great. It's going to taste fabulous. Awesome. What else do I want to see? I want to see eating fruits. What fruits do I like? Do I like apples? What kind of apples do I like? I love the red apples. Those ruby red, whatever they're called. Those are my favorite apples. I love them. I will eat them 24/7. I would get 2 of those. Then I would go and get an orange. Then I would go and get some bananas for banana pancakes in the morning. And that in itself is going to help you get more focus without expanding too much. We're not buying the whole store. We're buying what is simple, what is accessible, what is an easy step-by-step for you to make a week feel more in tune. So when we're thinking of that, make it so simple that your nervous system will feel that peace in the process, because it's very important to feel that peace in the process. Besides all of these, my loves, give yourself grace, give yourself time. If you already stopped doing your New Year's resolutions, you can always restart them. You haven't failed the whole year. You just took a break. If you need to take a break, but make sure you come back. The less you put pressure on yourself, as in guilt and shame, and the more you put pressure on yourself, as in peace and discipline, that is the shift that we want to see happen in your life, because that is the shift that will feel like the nervous system is supported, and you will get to make those big, massive goals happen in the long run. My loves, I really hope this helped. It's a very simple way of doing it, but sometimes we forget that the simple ways of doing things are actually the things that will get us the goals, the changes, the impact, everything. So keep it simple. Have fun with this. Don't forget to have fun with this. Make your lists, find your answers, and make sure you give yourself grace in the process. I love you super much. I can't wait to talk to you about so many more things these upcoming weeks. And remember, my darlings, you're fabulous, you're awesome, and stay salty and bright. Bye now.